Yeah. Perfect.
All right, we're live.
Oh, it should be able to.
We're live. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to Logic Apps Live from Ignite. Woohoo! Oh, switch to the camera.
We've been here 3 days.
It is,
It's
yeah.
feels like we're ready. Switch it off. Camera. Yeah. Hello, can you see us now?
Is that working?
Yes. We are live at Ignite. It is 1 p.m. Eastern Time, I think, in Florida.
Yes. Sunny Orlando in this very dark basement.
Yeah. Apparently it is sunny outside, so people keep telling us. It's also very cold. It's very hot. Yeah.
So we haven't done one of these in a long time. I think the last one we did was a build, right?
I think it was. Yeah. We need time to do this stuff when we're on the road. So we've been busy. We'll get into that and see why we're busy.
And you'll really have a lot of stuff to talk about today. I think we're just kicking it right off, right?
All right.
We have a lot of stuff to announce that we're announcing at Ignite, and we want to share with all of you guys.
Yeah.
You can't be here or even are here and watching around the booth.
That's good.
Switch it over.
That's done.
Excellent. So, first, these are the things that we're announcing at Ignite, not all the things new since the last podcast. We'll actually go and talk about those a little bit. But the first thing is that we're a public preview in Azure China. And so now if you have workloads or you're a multinational company that has workloads in China, you can go ahead and run Logic Apps in China. So we're very excited about that. Why don't you take us over?
VS Code extension. So this is something I'm really excited about. Starting from, this Monday, you'll be able to download the Logic App extension on VS Code, and you can view and edit your Logic App with the power of IntelliSense. Plus, you get access to the integration account as well, and we'll show you some really good demo very short.
Oh, ice. So the integration service environment is now in private preview. We have docs up on docs.microsoft.com. And what the integration service environment provides for you is a dedicated stamp to run only your Logic apps and connect to your VNet. So if you want that isolated experience that's connected directly to your resources that's on-prem or into your VNets, you should go ahead and look at the integration service environment. And if you want to try out the private preview, please sign up. There's a link in the docs for how to do that on the ICE page. John.
To me? Yeah, increased limits. So we've had from a number of customers that the number of artifacts for schemas and maps and configuration account is not big enough. So we've increased the limits to 8,000 artifacts now for those two items.
Manage service identity. Oh, this is a nice one. So what you can do now is your Logic app, when you can configure your Logic app to have its own identity. So what that means is that the Logic Apps engine actually will manage that identity, roll in the keys that you need, and so you can give a Logic app resource access to whatever other resource that you have that's managed under AD, and then we can go ahead just like a user, like a service principal. Instead of using service principal that you have to go create an ID, we actually create an identity for you in the Logic app, and you can go ahead and give it permissions and you can start accessing any Azure resource that you want. Really cool. We don't have to do weird tokens or secrets or anything like that. We handle all that. Client tracking ID with split on. So there are scenarios where you can have a message that's coming into your trigger and it has a split on. We didn't give you the capability before to add individual tracking IDs to each of those items in that split on. So now you can do that right from Designer and give each of those items in the split on or the whole batch a particular tracking ID. And Function V2 support. So Functions V2 announced that they're GA here at Ignite, and we did some work to make sure that we have great support for Functions V2. And we have a whole bunch of connectors coming. Why don't you take this one, John?
Yeah, sure. So the MQ connector, which has been in preview for a little while, has now GA. We have a brand new SFTP connector also released this week in public preview. So that should be rolling out across all regions. The primary need for this brand new connector is large files, which we now go up to a gigabyte file size. We also have some new operations, which I know a whole bunch of you have asked us for, being able to rename files, be able to create folders as well. And then the third connector is SAP, which also public previews this week, so you can try that out too. The main new feature there is trigger support. So now you can essentially register a logic app in SAP to get called back when dedicated. So now if it's happening in SAP, you can get a logic app running, assuming that data has been created in SAP.
Okay.
We have some announcement.
Ooh, we have a big announcement. This is really important. We're announcing that Logic Apps is a better schedule. No, well, yes, that is. But we have announcing at this conference that the Azure Scheduler is being deprecated and will be deprecated a year from now, which is September 30th, 2019. And Logic Apps is your better scheduler. So if you're looking at any scheduled workloads, please use Logic Apps to do that. If you have any today, migrate them to Logic Apps. And if you have any challenges with that, please reach out to us and we can help you.
We have already published guidance on getting started.
Yeah, so we have a very comprehensive migration document to help you in understanding how do you take your scheduler jobs and move them from that to Logic Apps. It's on docs.microsoft.com. I think Kevin also had a session here at Ignite to talk about the advanced scheduling capabilities in Logic App, which will be available on demand, I believe.
Yeah, so it's look for the Be a Scheduler here with Logic Apps. And there's a 20-minute session, and I do some pretty cool patterns on doing advanced stuff. And you can do way more stuff in Logic Apps than you can do with scheduling in regards to scheduling. All right, demo time.
Is it demo time already?
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to show you VS Code extension for Logic Apps. Again, the idea is in the past year or so, we have been working really hard on designers, and we want to make sure that you don't have to switch to CodeView if you don't want to. But there are some of you who loves CodeView. You're more efficient, you're more familiar, you see exactly what goes into the definition. And VS Code extension is our way to help you to do that more easily, quickly, and more efficiently. So the extension, like I said, is available today. You can go to VS Code and just search for Logic App. It's right there. I see already 200 something downloads. So if you haven't, please make sure to download that today and give us a rating, a 5-star rating. So once you install that, an Azure logo will show up on the left-hand side. And here you can see all my Logic App are listed for subscription, just like other extensions that you may be familiar with already. So what I can do here is let's just go open an existing Logic App. Let's see if the Wi-Fi works here. It will take a while. But here I have a very simple Logic App that is just a request and response. Now this response returns me a 400 by default. I can just tweak the value here. I will Control S to save. Oh, I think let's use.
I'm going to get up and go.
I think it's his machine.
I just switched.
We're still there.
There. Now we're there.
Still there.
All right, so let me just show you where you can find the extension really quick. Again, it's under the extension tab just on the left-hand side. To search for Logic Apps, it will be right there. Make sure you download that today. Once you install it, you will be able to find Logic App just under this Azure logo. And here I have an existing Logic App that I opened. Now I can just change this. I say I would return 200 instead of 400. Control S and click Upload will send that up to the cloud. Now, that's not the only part. The cool part really starts when you start editing the workflow. Let's say I want to change my Logic App to a recurrence trigger. So I'm doing my scheduler migration. I know that's being deprecated, and I want to move that to Logic App. I can just type recurrence, and boom, the entire object that defines that trigger is added automatically for me with the IntelliSense. I don't have to figure out, oh, it needs frequency and interval, it needs start time and end time. It's already done it for me. I just have to enter and configure for it to work exactly the way I want. Let's say I want it to run every 10 minutes instead of every 3. And you can even change the time zone. Again, this is something that's only available in Logic App and not available in Scheduler. Now let's take a look at something else. Let's go into let's do a XSLT map. So here I have an existing XSLT map. The nice thing that we have here, again, for one, is syntax highlighting. So because VS Code knows that these are XML documents, so it gives you the syntax highlight, it gives you the indentation automatically, and you don't have to mess with it yourself. But more so, with the power of other extensions that's also available on VS Code, you get the same kind of intelligence capability when you are editing XSLT maps as well as liquid templates. So here I have an example where I'm just transforming an XML document and I want to add a static value. I call it process by. Now, how do I add a static text? I don't know. I just type text. And boom, it gives me the building blocks of adding a particular text. And here I can just say composer will be the value that I want to have as part of my XML transfer. Again, so here we support maps, schemas, and partners in integration accounts with more artifacts types coming very soon, such like agreements and batch configurations. You will be able to right-click and create new ones. You will also be able to, like I just did, add an existing one and upload that directly to the cloud. And I think that's it. That is the demo.
That is pretty cool.
So again, make sure you give this a try. I want to see you download, use it, share it, and give us your feedback. If you're interested, also make a contribution. Fork it. The source code is completely open source on GitHub. So make a fork, make a pull request, and let's make this better altogether.
Fork it.
The Matt Farmer has
Hello.
as well.
Hello. I'm undersigned in the picture here. I was just doing my session on custom connectors.
Ooh,
and I got mocked by adoring fans when I left. And indeed, absolutely, yeah, it always happens. That's all right. But we're very much sleepy.
Custom connectors is a great capability in Logic Apps. That's anything. So that's pretty cool.
Yep.
So it has been a while since we've talked about what's new in Logic Apps. And so even though we went through the list of the things that we announced that tonight, there's a whole bunch of other things that we didn't get a chance to talk about. So why don't we go ahead and walk through some of those. Improved connector browsing. Go with. Sure. So so some people may have been like a little lost when you said, "Hey, what happened to my condition step?" It got moved because there's some things that are coming down the track later to make. Well, I'm just talking. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag yet. But to make a more consistent experience, we enrich that card experience. So we moved all the control activities under a control group. And so you can find your if then else and while loops and all that all under that control group under the built-in actions. So you have built-in connectors. So we make that distinction for you right in that tab.
Yeah, the idea is really to help you also identify which type of operations a particular connectors belongs to, right? But often get questions, is that a built-in type? Is that a connector or is that an enterprise connector? So with the new browsing experience, it really helps to clarify that, and you don't have to guess anymore. You can tell from the experience.
XLT3 support, yeah. It was a while ago that we now have XLT support in the correction account and associated action.
What's cool is that you can use that VS Code extension to actually do XLT.
That is true. You can also do that for Code as well. So
yeah.
If it's support that we've had for a while, you have an add-in for that, so you get syntax equalization for XLT3 and
for each item in token maker.
Yeah, so this is something really cool, right? So with Logic App, you work with array a lot of the times, and with array, obviously, you want to loop over and perform an operation on each and every single item. Now, that said, when you're inside an array, when you're inside a for each loop, the token that you care the most likely will be that item, and we didn't make it really easy before this feature for you to reference that. And I would have since made it much prominent in the token picker. So today, if you were to have a for each loop, you will see the item token show up on the very top of the token experience, and then you will be also able to see all the inner properties within that for each item. So that makes it really easy for you to say, oh, I want to take that value, maybe perform some operation and send it to some other connector. So give that a try.
Excellent. Ooh, lazy if evaluation. Have you ever come across a scenario where you have an if condition and the left-hand side is the value that you're going to evaluate to it and access, but the right-hand side is null. And then your whole logic app fails because, well, the right-hand side, which shouldn't evaluate it, is null, and then a null reference section. Boo. So what we did is now we have lazy if evaluation. So if the left-hand side is true, we don't evaluate the right-hand side. So then we'll get those weird exceptions and have to coalesce everywhere expressions. Configurable tracking ID or tracking correlation ID. So I talked about earlier how for the split on we had that correlation ID. Well, the predecessor to that was being able to go into the designer and actually configure that tracking ID right in the trigger settings. Connector IP addresses update. So there was an announcement that was sent out a few days ago saying that if you have, let's say you have your firewall and you're whitelisting IP addresses for connectors that are connecting to your services or systems, note that there's an IP address change coming that's going to be required by September 3rd, so the end of the week. So what's happening is that we've added a bunch of new IP addresses and we'll take out the old ones, right? We're rehashing the infrastructure behind it, so that forces us to add some new IP addresses. And so the old IP addresses deprecated, and so just realize that you'll see new requests coming from those new IP addresses. And we have a whole bunch of new connectors. Boy, do we have a bunch of new connectors. We're busy building them, but our partners are building them. So Server 123, Video Indexer, Cloud Connect Studio, Elastic Dynamic Signal, these, a whole bunch of them. So these are coming up all the time, and we'll even see more in this. Okay, so we talked about the ICE private preview. So obviously what comes after private preview is public preview. So where the team is up, right? Private preview V2. Yeah. So after we're diligently working on getting that public preview out, so that we can get it into everybody's hands instead of just the private preview customers, and hopefully that'll be coming sooner than you expected.
Smart Designer. So yes, we have been working on VS Code, but we haven't forgotten about the designer. Smart Designer is something that we're working on right now, which should be available soon. The idea is we want to harvest the power of AI and machine learning to really give you smart recommendations to help you to build workflows more efficiently, easily, and give you relevant information. So if we know that you're starting with a service bus trigger, we want to give you the type of recommendations and connectors and operations that you most likely is going to use. So keep an eye on. HTML text control. So one of the most used operation in Logic App is send an email action. Now, whenever you send an email, you want to format it nicely. And what you do today, well, you have to code in HTML, and not everyone is good at it. I'm not good at it. So we are introducing an HTML editor into the experience. You can do pretty much what you can do in Outlook.com, right? You can select some text. You can say, I want to bold it, I want to highlight, you can insert an image, and it's going to be really cool.
Awesome. Do delete run. So there are some customers out there who have logic apps that's looking at this data, and when, for compliance reasons, when that person leaves their application, they want to be able to delete all the information along with it. So we're going to do a delete run API, so that we go ahead and delete a particular run in your run history. We're also about to release Azure Gov Cloud in Arizona. So today we're in Texas, and soon we'll be in Arizona as well. And upcoming connectors. So I want to talk about the first one?
I don't know what the 3860 is. It should be 3270. I've just updated the slide, but it doesn't reflect it. So I actually showed this in our session on Monday here. I think everything's recording, right? It will be online at some point if it's not there already. So this is a connector that actually allows you to drive any screen terminal-based IBM application. And we'll also be adding 1550, so AS400 support as well. So these are I-series and Z-series, if you're more familiar with those names. So if you have IBM systems that are running applications in your enterprise today, you are able to should be able to connect to those when I'm using rich data to do that.
Okay, and soon we'll have the IoT Hub connector coming out. The IoT Hub team is very excited to have that come out. So that's coming on the heels of the notes. And then we have a bunch of third-party, first-party Azure budgets, and then first and third-party connectors coming out as well. So there's a bunch queued up that's in the hopper, ready to go. So you can always reach out to us. These are different ways to reach out, as always through Twitter or through. Oh, we've updated our roadmap. That actually. It's in progress as we speak. Okay, so our links to our roadmap is being updated, so we're more official for the rest of Azure. And you'll see that it's the same AKS link that's used. Yeah. Well, because we might answer questions. Hello. Okay. Did anybody have any questions? Let's see one question. Will you post announcements in YouTube description? Well, you know, typically our great friends in Australia get the stuff first, and then they'll like write a blog about it. You know, faster than we can get back to our laptops and do stuff. You'll see a blog on the announcements today from someplace pretty soon. Belgium or Europe. I forget where.
I'm pretty sure the sessions from Ignite are live any minute now, so you can obviously get those that way.
Excellent.
With the slides.
Okay. That's it.
That's it. Yeah.
Make sure you download the extension for VS Code.
Yes.
Yeah,
Right now. You can see what
it.
Derek is like super excited about this because he has one of these. If you're in the other half of the world who doesn't use Windows machines for development, this is a big deal. VS Code runs everything.
Well, they're not seeing our faces.
No, they're not, even though I click on the camera.
Well, they can only see my nose anyway. So.
Okay, Mr. Director.
Yeah.
Producer Director. No, that's not. But there we go. Just gives us a link. So, okay, I can see your face now. Say hello. All right, thanks guys. We're going to go back tonight and talk to a bunch of customers at our booth and reach out
next time. Yes.
Bye.
All right, thanks.